Welcome to Toffee TV. We are joined in the studio by our hero, one of our heroes, Big Duncan Ferguson.
Thanks, Baz. Great to be
See
here.
you,
Ed, all the best.
Lovely to see you.
What took you so long?
Yeah.
We got other stuff. We got to do Duncan, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, there was others, yeah.
How long have you been doing this for now?
How long been asking you to come in, or
Yeah.
how long we've been doing this for? We've been doing this for 5 years now.
5 years.
So that's how long we've been on your case for. And it finally happened. We've interviewed you before, haven't we? Finch Farm and
Enjoyed it.
stuff like that. But this is different level. Being on our turf.
Different grade.
No, it's great. Lovely to see you. Thank you very much
problem.
for coming in. Let me take you back to the start of your career.
Long time ago.
Long time ago. Well, I was just saying, I was looking through the thing, and it was 25 years ago that you signed for Everton.
Everton career, yeah.
Yeah. But before that, obviously, up in Scotland, get into your footy up there. So how did that come about?
Yeah, well, basically, like everybody else, really, grassroots. Played a local team, got scouted, Dundee United, and wasn't really fancied, you know what I mean, as a player. But Walter Smith, believe it or not, spotted me. And he recommended that I got signed for Dundee United. So it was Walter Smith that got me to Dundee United. So when I moved to Dundee United, Walter, unfortunately, he moved to Rangers as a manager. So we never quite crossed our path at Dundee United. But he went to Rangers, the Rangers assistant manager to Graham Souness, and I moved to Dundee United at 16 on a YTS, 45 quid a week. That's what we got.
That's all right.
Yeah.
You done all right, didn't you? You made your debut at 17 for Dundee United.
I'm not sure. I think it might have been 18 or something, a bit later.
You were 17.
Was it?
Yeah,
There you
said, trust me, you were 17.
Okay.
But that was at the end of one season, and then the next season you got in and scored a few goals. And
I think the debut was against Rangers at Ibrox, coming as a sub. And I think we played at East Still in a cup or something. That was my first senior goal, I think. Yeah. Big skinny kid. Unfortunately, that's long.
With the curtains.
Unfortunately, that's long gone. the hair and the physique.
You're messing, yeah, the physique, yeah. And then obviously done really well at Dundee United, and then Rangers came calling £4 million.
Yeah, a lot of money back then.
Wasn't it?
British record at the time. Yeah. Could have went to a number of clubs. Yeah. Leeds, but they just won the old First Division. That was the last time the First Division was won by Leeds, I think. Then they went into the Premier League.
Before the Premier League,
And they wanted me to replace their striker. Chapman, was it?
Leeds Chapman,
wanted me to replace him. So I went down there to see Leeds a couple of times, spoke to the manager, Howard Wilkinson, and that made my mind up. I wasn't signing for Leeds. So I went to Rangers in the end, and of course Walter then was the manager of Rangers then. Yeah. So he paid the money for me.
I remember we were linked with you when you were at Dundee United the first, and I was thinking, who's this? And you'd score. Do you hit the bar with an overhead kick or scored an overhead kick? And I remember
Scotland,
thinking, who's this big fella here who we're after? But
well, I heard that as well because obviously Howard was the manager. And,
yeah.
The late great Howard, and he was the manager of Everton at the time, and he tried to get me down to Everton. Yeah. I knew nothing about it, obviously.
Yeah. So you went off to Rangers. Different experiences at Rangers, shall we say?
Yeah, it just didn't quite work out for me at the time, to be honest. I had a few injuries and I got a few problems off the field, and it didn't quite happen for me, you know. So, I was only there for about 15 months, really. Yeah. And of course, then, I got the call. Walter said to me, I want you to get a fresh start, you know what I mean. So there was a few teams in for me, and Everton being one of them.
Why did you have a red jacket on?
Do you know what? I was just going to ask you the same question.
The red jacket at the press conference.
Yeah, well, it's brilliant, isn't it? Because it wasn't red, was it?
It was like orange.
It was orange.
It was an orange jacket, but I think maybe on the pictures it looked a bit red, you know. But it was orange. It was probably at the time that was the style, you know what I mean? The big curtains and an orange jacket. Liverpool wasn't quite the same after that.
No.
We weren't ready for it.
No, we weren't ready at all for it. He come down with Ian Durant at the time.
Durant, he was a good player.
Good player, wasn't he?
Struggled with injuries. Durant had a bad knee injury.
Yeah.
And he come down. He wasn't quite the same player as he was at Rangers, obviously. Yeah. So he got sent back, but luckily enough, I stayed.
See, I always thought you'd go back and Ian Durant would stay.
Yeah.
I always thought that was going to, because when you signed, because obviously you'd come down and it felt like you wanted that fresh start. But did you ever think, I'm going to stay here? Because you did, when you were I remember the press conference, you were like looking around, it almost felt like I've come for a few games and I'll pop, because at the time Rangers were huge. I mean, they still are, of course. But at the time, they were massive. Did you ever think, I'll get back into it and then I'll go back?
Well, that's what I was told.
Yeah.
Walter. Walter told me we need a fresh go down there, go down for a few months and, get yourself some games. and we'll bring you back. So that's all I was told. So as far as I was concerned, at that press conference, I was going back to Rangers.
That's what we were all thinking, man.
Yeah,
You're thinking,
yeah.
does he really want to be here and all? Not that you really want to be here, but you're right, your ramp was the one that looked like he wanted. Because I think obviously his injuries, he was probably thinking fresh start down there.
To be fair, I think Rangers were trying to get Durante out at the time.
Yeah.
I don't think they were quite ready to get me out at the time.
No.
I think they were just actually generally moving me on to get some game time and for a fresh start, because I had some problems up in Scotland at the time.
Yeah.
So I think that was generally what was going to happen. But of course, as it went on, I wanted to stay where I was.
Yeah.
And of course, then Rangers, I was happy with us. My agent got involved. We wanted to stay where we were, and that's basically what happened. You know what I mean? I think Rangers were initially going to want to bring me back.
Everything fell into place, though, didn't it? Like the first thing is you were given the number 9 shirt.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, this was a time when it wasn't just a number 9; it was a squad number thing. Someone else could have had that easily, but it was given to you. And then obviously you score your first goal in a Merseyside derby, and not just a Merseyside derby as well. It was a massively important
Mike
game.
Walker had gone, hadn't he, in that break, and obviously Joe come in, didn't he? And we had the derby as the first game. I remember you nearly scored a Paulson's, but you got injured. You got a bang on your foot, didn't you?
You got a bang on the foot, and I think we started taking injections in to actually get to the next game. I remember at the time we got about 8 injections in the foot then to try and get myself ready for the next one. But I think you're right. I think it all just fell into place for me. I think the shirt was there. I think there was a position there at centre forward. I think the club and the fans have been crying out for somebody like me, at that particular time, because they had a wee bit of history. Scottish strikers, as you know.
We did. When Joe come in, what was obviously we beat Liverpool, it was fantastic, wasn't it? What a night they were. I think they were top and we were bottom or near.
Is that right? I didn't know. I knew we were struggling. I knew we were at the bottom there.
And you scored a good goal and Rideout scored, and it was just like
nothing's changed the night.
Great night.
I just
remember still top, you're still at the bottom.
I just remember from that night though. I remember Neil Ruddock going through the back of you, and you just basically went down, got up, and just looked at him and to say, and that was like a big change. I thought big turning point in the game was like Neil Ruddock thought he had you, and you just looked at him, and that was all it took. And from then on, you just bullied him all night. And it was just like little things like that where you just
sets the tone.
You just remember things like that because as a fan, you're not used to that. Like you've just been crying out for someone to stand up to them, just stand up to them, and you obviously.
I think we had a team full of them at that time. Big Joe had come in, hunting, and he changed it round the boot, and he brought a few players in for the reserves, and I think it worked really well. He got the old dogs of war in there, didn't he? You got, had us up front. I think he brought Paul Ryde at the time, who wasn't playing. Amakachi had been playing at the time, so he changed it round. And obviously, Big Joe being a legend at the club, he got the team galvanised. I think that obviously that was your night, wasn't it? It was under the lights, Monday night.
Yeah,
Monday night.
I know it was a Monday night because I went to the buzz after it. The buzz was always on the Monday night. It was the first time I was in the buzz, and the second time I was in the buzz was actually when we went to the cup final. Before the cup final, we had a going away party, believe it or not, nowadays, and some bright spark decided to organise a night out in the buzz on like a Tuesday night, and the cup final was on the Saturday. And
Incredible. I remember, obviously, we beat Leeds as well, not long after that on a Monday as well. 3-0, didn't we? We battered them, and we started finding our feet. I mean, I still can't believe that when we went down to Chelsea and won 1-0, that's the last time we won there in the Premier League. Paul Rideout scored.
I knew
which is, exactly, a long time ago. We've come close a few times, but I know, it's berserk, isn't it? But then we got over Christmas, and then that glorious news come that you were staying. And you'd signed, we'd agreed a deal with Rangers for you, and then you scored your first goal since signing against Sheffield Wednesday at home, but we got beat 4-1. We scored a great header at the park. I
was on Boxing Day, and I watched it from a tree in Stanley Park. Because I couldn't get in. Because there was no tickets. I got up there late. I got up there late.
They hear your picture up all in the stadium.
That was it, wouldn't let him in.
Not at that time, maybe after. And I just remember, all I could see was like, that you run off and celebrate. I never seen the goal.
David Burrows crossed it from the left and you just rode. Brilliant header. Put us 1-0 up and we lost 4-1. But you were here.
We had some poor players back then, lad, didn't we?
Just listen, it was what it was. But I think that was another reason. I mean, do you think that's another reason why the fans just took to you? Because obviously we didn't really have anyone who'd... I think that's the reason why we had no one who'd stand up to people, and you were this young, lad ready to go to war for us on the terraces.
I think when you're young, you're fearless, aren't you? When I was 22 and I think I came, so you're a young man, aren't you? But you think you're a man, didn't you? And no, I think the history of the Scottish strikers, the big centre forward, and I was aware of that, you know what I mean? And and I knew what we know what the fans want. I mean, they still want it to this day, didn't we? They still want people to stand up and be aggressive and stand up for their colours, I think I fitted that.
outstanding. That season, obviously, big turnaround. We end up winning the FA Cup, which was just unbelievable. Games down at Bristol City when we were hammered and Matt Jackson scored an injury time, and Norwich beat Norwich 5-0, things like that. Was outstanding. And the semi-final, Newcastle, Dave Watson,
Tottenham.
That pitch, the Newcastle game, remember, half the pitch was sand for that quarter final. It was on live, wasn't it? Half the pitch was sand and the other half of Goodison. But the semi-final, you didn't play, did you?
Well, you
hernia.
Got into the Sheffield Wednesday.
I had a double hernia operation, and I was struggling with the hernia for a while. And so I missed the semi-final. They did me a double hernia operation. And I was like the guinea pig at the time. They put this mesh in you. That was the first one ever to get it done, I think, in the country. And they put this mesh into your tummy and they stitched you up, you know. They get you back in 14 days, like. And so they did that to me. I missed the Tottenham game, but was trying to get myself fit for the cup final. I wasn't fit. I was nowhere near fit. And I begged Big Joe to put me in the squad, to be honest with you. And it was touch and go if he was going to put me in. But I think because we were playing Man United, that swayed it. Because we'd beat them early on in the season at Goodison. And I was lucky enough to score the goal, and I think that swayed Big Joe to stick me in, you know, just to get me on the team sheet, get me in the bench. But I wasn't fit. I was nowhere near it. And as it happens, I played, you know, I played 40 minutes or something. And I was knackered. After it, you know, the mesh was all bent up and all that, and you know, and all things happened, and I had to get it all redone, you know.
I just remember the semi-final. You weren't playing, and when the final whistle went, we were just singing Duncan's going to Wembley all the way home, which was mad. It was
a great performance, wasn't it? It was probably one of the best performances we've done for a long time, no semi-final, because Tottenham were fancied, weren't they?
Yeah,
so was Newcastle in the quarter
final. They all
final.
wanted it though, didn't they? That's what they all wanted, this Tottenham Man United final, and they didn't want Everton anywhere near it.
And Big Nev performed in the final, didn't he?
Yeah.
Outstanding.
But we deserved to win the final as well, I thought.
We definitely deserved to win the final. I just remember being at Wembley and we didn't know what was going on. We didn't know whether you were going to be involved or what, because Joe Royle had kept it quiet. So I was behind the goal just to the left where Rideout scored, and everyone's like, I reckon Dunk's going to be involved. And the players started to come out. We had those white Umbro training and Stuart Barlow jogged out, and people are like, Duncan mustn't be there. So they come out to have a little, they were playing head tennis over the boards, and then the next minute you just heard, because you walked out with Amakati, and the next minute everyone was just like, come on.
It's a great day, wasn't it?
We were ready for it. But
it's been too long, mate, innit? Far too long.
Wouldn't have thought walking out of Wembley that day, that was the last time we'd win a trophy, you know, be the last time we've won something. But
I know.
Great, won it, outstanding. You come on, you had the blue nose, still got that picture in ours with it. In fact, there it is.
There it is, right. We've got a bit more hair there.
Look at that. The hair,
that was for charity, I think, when it was a blue nose for charity. Yeah. Don't know where I got that from. Somebody obviously won it off one of the fans, you know.
Just give you it.
Yeah.
But you then win the charity shield a few months later, a couple of months later as well. And
Vinny.
Cinny Vanways, Vinny sideways with a cross shot. And
I think I was a bit busy that summer.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of things happening.
Just other things.
In my personal life then.
I don't remember. I don't remember what happened.
Other things went on, but then when you got yourself fit again, ready to play football.
Oh, back to fitness,
Back to fitness. You played in the reserve game at Goodison, and there was 10,000.
Newcastle. Freezing, wasn't it?
I was there. Freezing. You had your beard.
Yeah.
We won 5-0.
It made me look tough that night.
Do you know what though?
When you go into one of the hotels up there, you've got to look tough, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what though? Could you imagine social media now if a club did what we did that night for you, having the pipers and all?
Oh, Christ, aye.
Do you imagine that? Do you imagine this? Like
we were just showing.
No, I know.
It was wrong, but wasn't it?
You imagine it though.
It was wrong me being up there, but wasn't it?
No, I know. Well,
it wasn't quite fair, was it?
That was a fitness camp. But it was funny that though. Just like when you think back, people now would go mental.
No, but the thing is, the reason why you had to go to the health farm was ridiculous. I'm not going to go into it, but it was absolute nonsense.
No, nonsense.
But got yourself back and all.
And the fans got me through it as well, by the way. A lot of them wrote to me.
Did you take like loads of support from
that? Unbelievable. Yeah, all the letters and all the, you know, the support that you got, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think that's cement? I mean, I'm not saying you didn't already.
No, I think
we had you as one of our own, but do you think that kind of cemented you as
it's part of the story, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's part of that story. You know what I mean? You know, obviously you've gone up there. You know what I mean? And you know, people, you know, and it was wrong, and it was wrong. I shouldn't have been in there.
No, is it not?
I think that a lot of people, you know, understood that.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not as if you're in for doing anything bad anyway. You know, my God,
it was nonsense. Absolutely.
It was nothing.
I seen something at Goodison Park a couple of weeks ago, which was worse. So
yeah. So you know, and obviously you're getting on the letters and that, and you're in there, and you know, you've got plenty of time in your hands, haven't you, to read through them all. So no, it definitely gets you through it.
Yeah.
And then come back to fitness. Still scored one of my favourite goals from yours was at Wimbledon, in the white kit, which is over in New Year's Day. When you scored on the chest, turned.
Not swinger.
It wasn't a swinger, it was a brilliant finish.
Yeah. You'd scored the one against Man United as well, from outside the box.
Yeah.
Which was
well,
in the 2-2, when we went 2-0
got
up. But that was
two.
the season after,
Mr.
wasn't it?
Sitter.
Yeah.
Mr. Sitter. I must have sat with 5 minutes to go. Missed an absolute sitter.
See, I like that.
Still keeps me up at night now.
I like that you remember that, though. I like that you remember the sitter rather than remember the goals, because I think that's what proper centre forwards do.
Too long. I was too much thinking about it, I think.
Was that the worst? Was that the one Gary Speed squirted? Or?
Yeah, no, he missed it. He come there and Gary tried to get it and he miskicked it and it's come to me and I hit it with my left and honestly how I've missed it to this day, because I had a nice strike in me. How I never just put it in there, I've got no idea. Crap, rubbish. Bad finish for me, unfortunately.
It scored 2 screamers though. Great header,
great,
and one with the right foot. So,
and
listen, strikers miss chances.
And that came just days after we played Newcastle, and everyone was raving about Shearer. And you played, and you didn't score, but
I think it was my best performance.
But it was a brilliant centre forward performance. You let Gary Speed scored a lovely goal.
That was his first goal.
Yeah.
I think that was my best performance in an Everton shirt. That day.
Really?
Although I never scored. I thought that day the team in general were.
It's so frustrating because we had such a good team as well. We had such a good side.
Poor Gary, what happened to him? Unbelievable.
But we had such a good side, and when we just could never put it all together, and then we self-sabotaged by letting Joe go. Joe leaves because he can't, well, for whatever reasons, and that team, it all started to fall apart again, and then a couple of years.
It was just that one when Joe left. That season was just, as a fan, that was such a strange season, because we started. I remember I was doing the tours at Goodison at the time. And you were at Goodison on the Friday for one of those lunches. Remember these?
Yeah, dining with the stars.
Yeah, and I remember speaking to you the day before, and you were like, "We'll beat them. Yeah, we're up for it. We'll beat these tomorrow." And then the next day, we were absolutely brilliant. We battered them, and they were fancied. We battered them, and then we had the United, and then we were going along. And
I think it was Tottenham next thing we do with Tottenham. Might be wrong. Third game might be in Tottenham.
Oh, after
after,
we started really well.
But at Christmas or early December, they were calling us dark horses for the league.
We beat Derby away.
We brought Nick Barmby in, didn't we? As well.
We'd won the Derby at Anfield. Chelsea scores twice. We were absolutely flying, and then things just turned. And next minute,
I think I was in a break then. I think I was on my break then.
I think you were. Because it was December, wasn't it? And then obviously, but we were flying. We were absolutely flying, and then everything in typical Everton fashion. As fans, we sort of
self-destruct.
Well, we do. We've always done it. We've always done it. Dunk. We are still the unluckiest club in the world. No one can tell we're not. We were league champions when both world wars broke out.
God.
How can anyone say they're not? No. So
we believe.
Look at the VAR a couple of weeks ago in the Brighton game.
Oh God. Don't. But we did.
Like that.
You're absolutely right. We self-sabotage and things, started getting depressing, really, didn't it? We had, obviously Joe went, and we had all of that, Howard come back and everything else with that, and that wasn't great, wasn't there? Yeah.
No, I don't think the great man had much money, to be honest, at the time, did he?
We had nothing.
No. Never had a lot of money, did we? And I think he brought in a players for the lower divisions, and never quite worked out, you know what I mean? But we managed to survive, didn't we? It's unbelievable. I think it was 2 goals or something.
What was that like, going into that Coventry?
It was horrendous. Probably the worst experience of your life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was the captain.
I was going to say, he made you the captain, and they give everyone a lift. I remember games like Bolton
at Christmas. That's the first time you were.
I remember your celebration with the.
And I think we never got beat off Liverpool that year either, I don't think.
No.
Because there's always a plus for us.
We beat them at home 2-0, didn't we?
Yeah, Cadamatri. And we drew at their place.
Yeah.
We lost at their place 3-2.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, the core.
Oh, the core when Michael Branch started.
Jeff Franny scored. But we ran them close in that. Yeah.
I think you're thinking of the year before when Michael Madar missed the absolute sitter.
Oh,
I can't remember playing a losing derby game the first time around. That's why I'm saying
you might have played that day because Michael Branch played up front. We scored after 30 seconds.
No, I scored.
No, that was the 1-1 when Michael Madar.
In the Premier League, but that was under
that the year before.
What's it got?
I'm trying to think of the kits.
The kit.
I'm trying to think of the kit.
I'm sure that was under Howard,
Ollie Decor.
That's why I'm thinking, because I'm sure I thought it was under Howard.
I'm thinking of the kits. I can't think. That was the 1-1 there. You're thinking of the 1-1, and we might be
the 1-1 when I scored the right foot. I'm sure Howard was the manager then.
But Michael
You
Madar...
ran like that. Isn't that... Have we took that picture down?
And Big Slavin was
Yeah,
on my
because
back.
Ollie the call was Walter Smith. What are we talking about?
There you go, you've learnt something, haven't you?
See?
Okay.
It was Howard
Yeah.
was
What
the
kit did we
manager.
have on?
Ollie the call was a Walter Smith signing for a start, wasn't he? So he
Yeah.
couldn't have been...
So
yeah,
it's
you're
the
right.
1-1
Michael
stroke,
Madar missed
Madar.
the sitter,
You
didn't
knocked
he?
it down, so Madar didn't get any...
Yeah.
Somehow.
So we got the 1-1 and we beat them 2-0 at the place.
So that's not bad, is it, considering where we ended up?
And you know.
But
We'll
obviously...
have to cut all that out. We look like idiots now.
No, we're just going off memory, aren't we? But then obviously...
How did we manage to do it? how did we manage to win against them? I've got no idea. My God, it's been a long time, innit?
Oh, madness. But the we got obviously Walter Smith coming, and you know there was obviously things going on at the club that you know he thought he had more money and blah blah blah. But
well, he bought a lot of players, didn't he, at the time? In the summer, I think we got a lot of players in.
Yeah.
And you know, some good signings. We got Mazzarazzi, remember Big Mazzarazzi? He ended up to be a good player. Decor, he wasn't a bad player. Decor.
Yeah. John Collins coming, didn't he?
Yeah.
Brought Unzi back.
Yeah. So there was a
they
few
were all
there.
right. But then obviously the
Never quite worked out, did
the
it?
saddest moment for us as fans was Newcastle United at home.
Yeah,
And we got to the ground and the rumours started, didn't they? And it was as a fan, it was just disbelief, because for us as supporters, you were the main player for us, regardless of who else was around and in that team.
You don't want to be young as well, weren't you? What age have you been?
He was 30.
Same age as you.
Weren't you?
I was...
No, 20. So
I was like 17, wasn't I?
So maybe 25 or something.
Yeah. So it was, and I remember our kid was just distraught. He's 21, he was distraught.
Yeah.
Well, it happened so quickly, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, I as I said to you before, I rung up Everton's club call, because that's what you did then. Mum, don't tell me dad. And I rung Everton's and they were like, no. And then I rung Newcastle's, and Freddie Shepherd was like, yeah, he's on his way up. We've sorted the deal out. And I was just, oh my God, I had this picture on the wall and it was framed, and I threw it down the stairs and I didn't realise it had glass in it. Yeah. And it bounced off every part of the wall.
No, it was tough times, wasn't it?
Oh, I just remember my overriding thing from that night. We won the game 1-0, did me ball, he struck like a ball, scored a penalty.
Yeah, penalty.
And the camera kept going to the executive boxes where you were sat. And that's my overriding thing. That night they kept showing you, and it was like, is this real? And then I remember a new couple up here, and they were just like,
no.
Yeah, it looks like Dunk's going. And
yeah, it was. And it happened very quickly for myself as well. Obviously, I didn't want to leave. I told the club that. But, you know, it was in the uncertain terms. You know, they needed a few quid, unfortunately.
And you were the most saleable asset we had.
And once that happens, once you know, the chairman's telling you, we need a few quid, and you know.
What it did, I mean, if there's one positive that came out of it, what it did do is, though, as a fan, it gave Walter Smith it gave him the ammunition to have a go at the owner at the time. And it was an owner fans didn't like, let's be honest. And we ended up getting rid of him. I remember Christmas Day it was confirmed, was it? That Bill Kenwright took over. Because it just...
That was a while later, wasn't it?
That was like the start of it. It galvanised, it gave fans a reason to go, something's not right here, and we're having to sell our favourite asset, not even an asset, favourite player, but our biggest asset. And it turned the tide for fans. Because it was like,
I just remember
we didn't have much. We didn't have much.
We were going to Charlton, weren't we, on the Saturday, and I remember we won down at Charlton 2-1.
Cadamachi
scored, and you scored 2 for Newcastle. He beat
2 crappy goals as well. Ted scored at Newcastle, 2 lucky goals.
But doesn't matter, they all count, mate. Yeah. But I remember someone asking you something about, what you feel about your goals, and you was like, I don't know. Or the fans were cheering, you were like, I don't know, I just wanted to see how Everton had got on. Yeah, and that come out at that time, that Duncan's looking for Everton results. And I think as fans, that showed to us just how much we meant to you.
Well, I tried to hold off for a few days before I signed, you know what I mean? Maybe not many people know, in fact probably nobody knows it, but I didn't sign for Newcastle right away when it went up. I held off for a couple of days, just to see if things were going to change, I didn't quite, and obviously that was it, and it was done. But suppose good things did come, because then they brought Kevin Campbell to the club in the end, didn't they? We brought Kevin Campbell down the line that year. Who come on and had a good run, scored a few goals. We managed to,
But if you'd have stayed, we mightn't have been in that position.
No,
I know what I'm saying. No. And you're right. You're absolutely right. Obviously,
maybe the banks would have been knocking the door and saying, by the way.
Well, maybe.
I was that then because you didn't really like talking to the press. Like, you didn't talk to the press. Let's get it right. You didn't talk to the press, and then I remember because it was like you did the press conference. And you had to talk, and it was like what was awful. What I found out was like, he wouldn't talk to the press for us, and now he's having to. And it wasn't like.
But I did the press conference, didn't I?
Yeah,
with my orange jacket on.
Look at him! Look at him talking to the press. Oh, who does he think he is now?
People have gutted, weren't they?
Yeah.
I remember the only time I was ever fuming with you when you come back to Goodison was Newcastle beat us 2-0.
God.
And you went in for a tackle with someone on the halfway line. I don't know why I was surprised and why I expected any different from you, because you give everything when you were playing, but
really,
you went in, you smashed someone on the halfway line.
Tough experience for me, though.
Was it?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Horrendous. Really bad.
Would you class yourself even then as an Evertonian?
Yeah.
Well, you already had the tattoo, didn't you?
Yeah.
So
Sailor Jacks.
I know.
Hey, Sailor Jacks.
My missus
Sailor Jacks, 40 quid.
My missus got it.
Sailor Jacks, 40 quid
My
tattoo.
missus got an Everton tattoo from Jacks as well. He was.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying from a fan's perspective, it was difficult as a fan to see you run out with the Newcastle shirt on. But
it's tough for me.
What's it like as a player? Because we're all very emotive, as you well know now, because you still, you'll know exactly what fans are like of any club. But what was that like as a player? If you've got that, if you are an Evertonian and you turn back up at Goodison and
it was horrendous. It was bad. Obviously, all my mates are on the stand. All my mates, my family's there. You know what I mean? We're in the hotel on the Friday night, and there's waitresses and waiters coming up to me, showing me their Everton tattoos and telling me they love me, and God Almighty, don't play well tomorrow. God, it's Everton, And it's all going through your mind, you know what I mean?
And you didn't play well.
No, well, that's good.
Yeah.
well, they won 2-0.
No, but he didn't. I remember.
No,
I know.
Yeah, so and it's so it's really it's turmoil, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you love the club.
It
doesn't change. Does it?
It does for some players, though. I think that's why Evertonians do hold you in that esteem, because we could tell. I remember when Newcastle scored the second, I don't even think you celebrated. I think you just jogged back, and it was like...
I think it's hard. You're under your cut between things. What do you do? You've got a new club.
Oh, of course, you've got your profession. You've got to do it. It's just, as a fan, you...
But believe it, for me, it was horrendous.
Yeah, it was... Let's forget about that now. It's done.
Yeah.
And then obviously we got to the summer, and I was working at the club, and there was rumours that you might be coming back. And it was, I just remember being like a big kid running around. Did you
think you'd come back? Because I always knew.
I always felt I'd come back.
I always knew you'd come back. I always knew.
Yeah. Anyway, my birth couldn't settle anyway. she was only feeding Norris Green, know what I mean? She didn't like to sell in Newcastle.
I thought you guys, because obviously the pigeons were a big, that was your thing, wasn't it? Like people like Duncan the hard man, but look at him here with his little pigeon.
That's it, keeps me calm.
Duncan had the pigeon and all that, yeah. But that news come through, and then I remember running out to the park ending, you'd just come in, and it was like we just went to get a look at you, even though we'd seen you go and have another look, and you were
That was obviously great to be back, wasn't it? I mean,
how did that come about then?
Phone call for the chairman.
Yeah.
Well, he was for Bill.
Yeah, Bill.
He phoned me up and said, I want you back. I went, okay. That was it. As quick as that. Got the contract sorted out quickly, and then I walked away from Newcastle, left a massive contract, come back, and it was done. Quick as that, really.
Did you have to think about it? Was there ever... No. Was there no even, you never go back? Was that never through your mind?
No. I'd be desperate to get back, to be honest, And obviously my missus and all the family were all made up, you know what I mean?
But you come back,
bags were packed.
You come back in absolutely perfect Duncan Ferguson style. We played Leeds on the Saturday, we got beaten, we were on the bench, you didn't come off the bench. And then we played Charlton, and you scored, and you got injured as you scored. And it was like, you scored, but you're out. You were out for like 6 weeks, I think.
6 months, I think.
I've
got the scar. I've got the scar there, the left calf.
But that was like literally, it was the most like Duncan Ferguson thing ever, because obviously the injuries were a massive part of your career.
It killed half my career.
Yeah.
So they talk about goals you've scored, or talk about this. I've only played X amount of games. You can't score goals lying in the treatment table, can you? Unfortunately, no.
Is it true that Mick Rathbone basically sorted out all your injuries, or was that just an injury at the time? Because he said, I think, he'd come out, I think it's in his book, he sent you for an operation, didn't he, I think, on your back. Now, did that clear up the persistent problem, or was it just, I don't know, accumulation of everything? Like all different injuries, or was it that one thing that really sorted you out?
No, I think the physios were getting better. Back in the day, we just took injections, didn't we? We just basically took injections, you know what I mean? And the first injury I've ever got, the first injury I ever had was a broken toe, my big toe. Right. And I broke my big toe, right, in a fight in a pub called The Rock in Minshall in Dundee, right? And that was my first ever injury. And it was my big toe. I broke it. And it's like that now. It never got fixed. So to this day, I think everything come for that bloody big toe and that fight in The Rock in Minshall in Dundee when I was 18.
Because it knocked your alignments off slightly.
All later on people say, oh, you need to look at your feet, my toes like that, my big toe's like that.
Because it sets, doesn't it? Sets in the wrong.
And I think it was all come for that. And all the injuries, I looked at my injury come up the left-hand side. Anyway, that's what I thought it was. But I'll show you my scar in my sciatic nerve, but I'm not quite sure if your viewers would be, it's from there to there.
Yeah, that's
it's like a 12 or 14 inch scar. It's like that down the sciatic nerve. The calf is there. I mean, you maybe would see that a wee bit better. But that was the calf one. And you want me to show you the scar? I'll show you the scar, but I don't know. It's up to you if your viewers.
What's red, all right?
Oh my God!
It keeps on going, like.
X-rated that.
Keeps on going
on that camera.
It keeps on going.
Oh my word!
So that was the sciatic nerve. That was the calf. I've got ankles, knees. Obviously, the 4 operation I did in the hernias with the guinea pig with the mesh, it ought to all get ripped out in the end. So I've had a go at it. You know what I mean?
Do you think your frame was part of the injuries? Because you're obviously
a
big lad, aren't you?
I think back then we didn't know about the core work and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And I think all the partying doesn't help you, does it? It doesn't help you quite, you know what I mean?
No, it doesn't. I mean, that's something else, isn't it?
We're all young, aren't we? And back in the day then, we're all doing,
going the bus and that.
Going like that, things like that, you know what I mean? The positive things.
It's also,
I met my bud in the bus as well, by the way.
But it's also, to be honest, it's being tall as well. So I'm
that's what I said.
I'm not as tall as you, but I have terrible problems with my back, and I have it since I was a kid. And I don't know. It seems.
It could be. There's things like that.
You're a big lad running around, carrying, and especially you jumping and landing. Every time you go up for it, Eddie, you're landing, aren't you? Yeah. So probably now they might have, be able to do things in your boots.
Well, yoga now and their health. Back then it was just coming in, wasn't it?
Come in, have it.
So you always look back in your life, you think, if only if I did this, or only if I did that, I might have got another 100 games, another 200 games, you know what I mean? I think,
but that's guidance though, isn't it? That stuff as a coach you can pass on to other people now, isn't it?
I mean, the great thing about the kids are getting more educated now. Yeah. Back in the day it was a bit more. We were all from working class areas, we all came out to schemes, we all went for the bottle of cider, we're all looking for, all the kids were looking for the empty fag packet and they find a fag in the packet and that, you know what I mean?
It's no coincidence that there's no buzz and no 051 in places like these. Cream shut now as well.
I bought a cider woodpecker for £1 and that, you know what I mean? So I think it's all changing now. Kids are getting better educated now. The academy system, that's one good thing about them is that they've got the education in there. They talk about the drugs, they talk about the booze, you know what I mean? And the kids are now living a cleaner life, you know what I mean?
That's fun.
That side of it's good. But do you ever think that, like you will have, and anyone of your generation, that just playing in the streets, getting playing football on the streets, getting 25 aside against each other, where you've got to have your wits about you. You think that's sometimes missing in the game now? Because I do personally. I think I just look at
football, essentially, which you would have played.
Playing against older kids.
Yeah. Older kids,
getting kicked slumped out, you know what I mean? You're getting battered with the kids, you're on the concrete. And older kids, the age groups could be 60 to 15 or whatever it was, you know what I mean? Yeah. You're all getting knocked lumps. Yes, so I think that's a big thing.
I mean, because you see that, don't you, when you see like players who come over from South America who haven't had the background that our kids have got, and you see it, they die for the shirt, they die for it.
I think that's part of it, and I think you're right. I think they've lost the street football. Kids have lost that aggression. People have got a better lifestyle now. They've got a bit more money.
It's hard, isn't it?
They've got the Xboxes.
You've got,
then they're all sitting. And one of my kids sits there and he does it. And I love that. Obviously, he's got the Xbox, and people have changed them now.
That's positive.
And they're not getting chased for the police as much as they used to do. And I used to think with the awareness as well. We were always you're looking for things. You're in the street and you're looking around you and you're scanning and you're looking for the cars and you're looking for everything. So,
but that's right.
But kids are not getting that now.
Yeah,
so they're just
awareness,
kids can't even cross the road just now, can they? They can't even cross cross the road now because they're bloody no used to being in the streets. Because you're scared to let kids in the streets now. They're getting bloody shot, they're getting stabbed.
This is the thing, isn't it? I mean, it's great saying. I mean, we've got slightly going on, but we've got this thing now of almost blaming kids for the way they've been brought up. But everyone just wants their kids to have a better life than what they did, didn't they? So we've made them almost soft because we want them. We want. We all would have played in the streets for hours and hours and hours. But we played in our own streets, and my mum and dad, you know, as long as you don't break our windows, we're not really bothered.
Well, you knew everybody. Yeah. Everybody looked after you. Your doors were open. You might pop in.
Don't go that far.
You might, well, we're in Scotland where I've got a great upbringing, you know what I mean? Yeah. And you know, the only time you went back to it, you see your man's got a wee piece and jam, a wee bit of bread and jam. You got through the door and come back for your dinner. You know what I mean? And the dinner you shouted in at night, didn't you?
That was
it was going dark. You get shouted in the way you went.
And off you go.
Pick up your jacket. That was a goal post and the way you went.
Yeah. That's it. Not enough of that.
The good old days, eh?
The good old days.
That's when men were men, eh?
They were the good old days.
I mean, I still had the PlayStation and all those things.
Yeah, you've got to mix it. But back on. Can we get back on the line?
You had a PlayStation when you were a kid.
I'm not that old.
We had Ataris.
Hang on, I had Nintendo, Super Nintendo, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. I had all of them.
To be fair,
I still played footy.
I did play footy
all the time, and I was still playing. I was still playing footy in the streets when my mates were in pubs. I had no interest. I just wanted to play footy because I thought, well, this won't last forever. I loved it.
Yeah,
I absolutely loved it, and it you know doesn't last forever. Your body doesn't last forever, first of all. But I loved it. And then when it went dark, I went and played on my PlayStation footy.
Right, can we get back now?
Yeah,
that's sound. Move on. Obviously, David Moyes comes in. You know, we're struggling. Walter goes. The worst game we've ever played. Middlesbrough away.
I was there.
Quarter-final.
I was there again on what was it? Sciatic nerve.
Yeah.
And I went to Portugal, and I said to the manager at the time, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Moyes or something, or it might have been Walter.
Walter
come in. I said to Walter, I said, look, I'm struggling. My career's gone down, finished here. I need to take drastic action. He said, what do you want to do? I said, well, there's a doctor up in Portugal I want to go to, and he went, all right, I'll let you go. I says to him, I says, all right. It says, cost me 20 grand.
Cost you
20 grand.
That's interesting.
I mean, I said, it's going to cost me 20 grand. You know, he says, well, you know, obviously the club's not going to fund that. I said, no. I says, I'll pay it. You know what I mean? So I went, shot to Portugal for 10 days, and tried to get the sciatic nerve fixed. You know what I mean? And in that meantime, the Middlesbrough game happened.
Yeah.
And Walter was sacked. So I come back from Portugal, and Archie was still there for a training session, because he was taking one training session. Archie said, look, you know, through respect for the club, I didn't want a coach not to be here. Because Archie was Walter's right hand man, who was a great fella. Both of them are diamonds, by the way. Yeah. Proper fellas. Yeah. Both of them. Great fellas. And Archie took the training session. He left, and Moisey come in. And I'd come back from Portugal. And, Moisey pulled me up into his office. Said to me that, they asked me about the club, blah, blah, blah. I heard that I was the man in the dressing room. And, we needed to pull together, blah, blah, blah. And wanted me to be the captain. Again, so which was a great honour, again to be the captain, and he come in and away we went, didn't we?
You've come back from Portugal because of the problem, and then you play on the Saturday against Fulham and score.
I think I'd have 1 day's training, been in Portugal for the 10 days, and obviously before I went out there I hadn't been doing any training because the Saturday nerve was playing me up. So I probably come off a back, not been playing for a month, and just coming and playing. So it's adrenaline, you know what I mean?
It was amazing because Unzi scored after 27 seconds. You score, we win the game. Gravison gets sent off in the first half, and we hang on and win the game. And
what did he get sent off for? I bet it was
2 stupid fouls. He'd been booked, and then we're wellied someone from nowhere. Sounds like Tommy. And then we go to Derby the week later, and we win 4-3. You score again, another peeler. Left foot, top in, 4-1 up, and we do our best to throw it away, but we win it 4-3, and we just got on that run, didn't we, David?
And then the next week we went to Newcastle.
Yeah, scored again.
We ended up getting beat 6-2. But you scored, and we were winning, and then they brought Lua on, and he just destroyed our back four. But at the end, I remember all our fans were standing up applauding you because you should give everything. Newcastle were a good side. You should give everything to win the game of football. So fans applauded you.
I remember it because when Moisey came in, there was 9 games to go, and I remember him saying to us, "We need to win. We need to stay up. No matter how we stay up, we've got to stay up." I said, "Well, don't worry. I'll be in there. I'll be rallying the troops. We'll all get stuck in, And so we played the 6. I played 6 games. I think I played 6 games, and I think I got sent off in one of the games, and I missed the last 3 games.
Bolton. So you've scored 3 goals in 3 games. We're flying. We got battered at Newcastle 6-2, and then we had Bolton on the Monday.
Yeah.
And
You
Freddie Bobiched them off.
Yeah.
He grabbed you and you let him know that you don't like to be grabbed. And off you went, big man. But we won the game, and we, like you say, you played the games and we got enough points. And we seen Wayne Rooney in the squad, and he didn't get on, went to Southampton, we won. Yeah. And then, you know, obviously you were in and out, and you were coming towards what turned out to be the end. But we had the season we finished 4th, and you were, you know, you talk about your best ever performance was against Newcastle, but when we beat Manchester United at home and you scored a diving header, you'd had injuries as well, but that night you were just unbelievable. Rio Ferdinand bounced out like he was the man, and you just you just reminded him that you were the man.
When you've jogged with me, that probably was my last big performance, I would think. Maybe that was my last big one, you know what I mean?
You scored a brilliant header.
Yeah.
And you scored again on the Saturday against Birmingham?
He come on the sub against Birmingham and equalised.
My legs had gone by then because I hadn't been... Because I remember that big night against Man United, and I couldn't recover. I never recovered, and the manager saying to me, he said, look, you know, you're no recovery. I says, no. He said, we'll put you in the bench. He says, you know, try and get yourself back on. And at that time, I was coming off the bench quite a bit.
Were you doing like some really, like the cameo roles? I remember you coming on against Norwich.
Well, the photo you've signed for us over there is after it was the Norwich game, you scored a brilliant header.
We were winning 2-0. They pulled it back to 2-2, and you come on and got a header. And just like little cameos.
I think it worked well that year when we come forth. It worked well because I was getting 20, 30 minutes, and obviously the opposition knew was coming on, your team knew were coming on, the fans knew was coming on, and I could give that 20, 30 minutes, you know.
Extra boost, and we finished 4th, and it's outstanding, and it's the Champions League and everything else, and then can't have you here and not ask you about Villarreal.
Oh, Christ, aye. And Villarreal, aye. I started that game, we played them at Goodison, hadn't we?
Yeah, lost 2-1 at home, didn't we? And
I remember the first 30 seconds of the game, he blew up for a free kick on me for no reason, and I knew it was going to be a heavy night for me, obviously. He obviously knew my reputation, I suppose, and that probably went before me.
There was loads of games like that, wasn't there, where reputation went before you. Never got the rub of the green, but this was the ultimate one, wasn't it?
I remember that 30-second the ball got played up.
You held up, and he blew
the whistle, and you were like,
what's
happened? And did you know then with it? Because we were, as fans, we were like, we've got Kalina, it's going to be sound. And
he had a big reputation, didn't he?
And
I think he came out of retirement for that game or something, or he went back into retirement after the game.
He come out of retirement and went back into retirement. So
it was a poor decision, wasn't it? He was wrong, wasn't he?
I mean, you score a brilliant header. There's nothing wrong with it, and that would have put us level in the game, wouldn't it? And they were rocking. We had them, Mikel Arteta. They went 1-0 up, didn't he? Mikel Arteta equalised. That right? And then you scored, so it was 3-3, wasn't it? And
if we'd got, then we would have been on for the away goal.
It would have been 3-3, and then we were going on. And
no,
I just can't. I still, to this day, can't believe it because there was nothing wrong with your head.
Not a thing.
Nothing.
Not a thing. And I think we said him at the time, you know, what's going on, and you know, basically, I don't know what he said, to be honest. He said something with Marcus Bent or something, and he was 10 yards away for the thing. Yeah, but he knew it was me, didn't he? Yeah. When I went for the ball, ahead of the ball, he knew it was me, so he just blew, and that was it. Stitched us up, fortunately.
That's literally how it felt, because obviously another team from this city had
bad luck strikes again.
And they didn't want 5 English teams. I'm convinced, you don't need to say, but us as fans will say it. They didn't want 5 English teams in the Champions League, and we're unfortunately not as a bigger name as them. So, and then we had we went into the Europa League, and we were doing all right over in Dynamo Bucharest.
We were winning, weren't we?
Yeah, no, it was 1-1 at that. Yabo equalised, and then we capitulated in the second half, and we come back to Goodison, and we couldn't quite turn them round. And that night, there was a challenge on Mikel Arteta, which was horrific. You know, at header late, and you done what every one of us wanted to do on that centre arm, and that again reiterated.
There is a classic picture of you just walking away. I'm not going to say what happened. There's a classic picture of just you walking away into the sunset, and it's.
I'm saying that was another moment for me where I was like, this is why we love you, because we've got a fan playing for us, and that's how it come across. You know, I've been
watching too much of Ricky Hatton, I think, haven't I?
Oh, listen,
Ricky Hatton was good in the body shots.
There was another one that season as well, wasn't there, at Wigan with
with Shana.
But it was
but he didn't.
No, but it was Stingo.
I was there behind the goal and touched Shana.
It was Stingo looking at you though.
Jimmy Bullard
looking at you, and he was terrified. It was one of the funny. I think we did 1-1.
He's like that, looking at you like.
Oh my God.
Well, like, you know, I remember him saying he stood there terrified, because he done that when he dived over, didn't he? But you know, and then obviously that season, you know, ended up. We come to the end of the season, and When did you know that was it? It wasn't the guard of honour moment when you walked out against West Brom, was it?
Well, yeah, probably, because nothing had been said to me, to be honest with you, you know what I mean? Obviously, I felt it was coming to the end. Nobody had actually said to me, this is your last game, Duncan, you know what I mean? But I think around about Christmas time, I had a word with the manager at the time, Moisey, and I said to him, look, you know, I'm struggling. You know what I mean? I don't feel right, you know what I mean? I think I come on against a team, I can't think it was Blackburn, I come off the bench, never quite made the impact I'd been making. And, you know, I was a proud guy, and I thought to myself, this is not quite working out as much as it had been done the previous season, you know? Because I got an extra year, the manager gave me an extra year on the back of coming fourth because I was making an impact. I like this. I think I can do another 12 months of this, you know what I mean? And I thought within myself I was coming to the end, you know what I mean? And I wanted to go to Everton, I wanted to go to the top. I didn't want to drift in the leagues. In fact, I got 2 opportunities to stay in the Premier League, which are not back. I wanted to finish at Everton. So I thought I was coming to my end, really, even though I knew I could have still played on. But not at the level I was. I thought, you know, I wanted to remember myself as a good player, you know what I mean? Knows a journeyman.
Because at the time, it wasn't really painted like that, though. It was painted as like you wanted another year, and no, but that's what I'm saying. That's the way. Until you've just said that, this is the first time. Like it was painted like you wanted another year, and no one told you that they were letting you go.
No, nobody did tell me. I mean, don't get me wrong. If Everton turned and said to me, "Don't we want you to take another year?" It would be something. If I took it, I went, well, you know, they want to play 20 minutes, you know, and come on. You know, I probably went for that, but. I think
did you feel yourself it wasn't
I thought it was starting to come to the end, to be honest with you. Although nobody had really told me. I'd spoke to the manager at Christmas time and said, look, I went to him and said, look, I'm not happy with the way he's gone. And he was like, God Almighty, Duncan, respect for what you're saying, you know. I want to make an impact. I want to be, you know, I want to remember myself as a good player. I don't want to be a liability. So although nothing was said to me, obviously when they make you the captain in the back and, you know, you see it was coming, you know what I mean? So I made sure I got my kids doing it at the time. And it was a bit rushed, but most of these things are rushed. And I think it always ends not quite scripted, but mine was brilliant because actually mine's got it. I got the lap of honour, I got the family out on the pitch, the fans realised what was happening, so I got that send off, you know what I mean?
Come on, you got
scripted brilliantly.
You got the penalty.
We got beat 2-0.
Yeah.
Don't forget, by West Brom, and Anachabi scored, and then we got a pen right at the end.
But I just remember, who was it? Was it James McPartland took the ball? Was that Mikel Arteta? Was trying to take the penalty? And James McParland took the ball off and went, no, Duncan's taking this. And it was at the Gladys Street end. And it wasn't the greatest penalty in the world. Let's be.
God Almighty.
But. Well, the finish wasn't the greatest finish either. It went in and it said Duncan Ferguson.
Probably one of the few bit of luck I've ever got really in my career.
It says Duncan Ferguson. It doesn't say penalty. It says Duncan Ferguson goal at the Gladys Street end.
I remember my brother sat next to me and we were just like, don't miss, no matter what. I'm more nervous for that penalty in a game that meant nothing.
Well, believe me, mate, my head was pounding at my shirt at the time.
No, that's what I was going to say. So what was it like for you? Because you'd obviously realised at that stage, this is the last game I'm going to play.
Yeah, and I wasn't on the penalties. And obviously this is what's happened, isn't it?
But when you came back, you'd started taking penalties and I couldn't.
And
they were brilliant. And I was like, where did this come from?
Yeah, I should have been taking them. Because what happened, going back to that, is I missed a penalty when I was a kid. I was only about 17 or 18 and I wasn't on the penalties then, but we'd signed a guy for Dundee United, an Argentinian boy who was meant to be on the penalties. We get a penalty in the first 10 minutes, the Argentinian boy decides not to take it. I'd scored like 8 goals in 8 games. I said, I'll take it. I'd never took a penalty in my life, I'll take it, and I missed it. I was 18. The goalie never moved, I screwed it by the post. I went, Jesus, so I'm crap at penalties now, aren't I? I said, I'm not any good. So if you think you're crap, you don't take them, so there's always somebody else taking penalties. So they never had, eventually I got to a certain age, I think, I should be taking penalties here. I think it was one of Walter's first games, maybe doing it at Charlton, and he says, we need a penalty taker. I went, I'll take them. He said, well, you don't take them. I said, well, I'm going to start taking them.
You bend them in the corner.
I started taking the penalties then.
Did you think, when did you decide you were a free kick taker? Because I remember you hitting the bar against Liverpool, the other side of the bar.
It was the same thing. Because I had a good left foot, and because I was always renowned for heading, but I actually had a good left foot. And we're taking free kicks at Finch Farm. I think Andy Hinchcliffe was taking free kicks into Neville, and I said, I'll take some of them. So me and Andy Hinchcliffe would be taking free kicks into Neville, and I'd be scoring a few, maybe more than Andy was scoring at the time. I said, I can take these. Do you know what I mean? So I think I took one. And in a derby game, Big Stubbsy's running about 50 yards down the pitch to take this penalty. This free kick. He's run away down there, and I'm there at the ball thinking, I'm taking this. And he starts to run thinking he's going to hit it, and I just went, douche. And it actually, they scored for
him.
It must have been you and Lee Carsley, because when Lee Carsley started taking free kicks as well, what the hell's going on here?
Of course, if you take penalties throughout your career, you get another 50, 60 goals in your career, haven't you?
Missed the trick there.
But listen, it couldn't have been, as a footballer, as a player for Everton, it couldn't have been written any better. For your last game, you score, you get us a point.
Probably my last kick.
You score your goal, you walk around with your family, we're all crying. As Evertonians, you've got the thing round your neck, draped on you and all that.
It was emotional.
Iconic. So what was it like for you just doing that lap of honour?
That was meant everything to me. Because obviously you get the lap honour, because some players don't get it, do they? And I've got the family with me, and I could see all the fans, you know what I mean? I was in bits, to be honest with you. You know, this is your last on the pitch, you know what I mean? And it hits you. It was emotional, very emotional at the time.
I remember I met you in the Players Lounge afterwards, because someone had got us a couple of we were getting married that summer, and someone had got us a couple of tickets for the Players Lounge. I remember meeting you afterwards. You just looked like, this is it. This is all done. This is all done.
That was it.
Thanks, Dunk. That is it for part 1. In part 2, we'll be looking at Duncan's coaching career and everything else he does for Everton. So make sure you join us for that one.